No. Oh, morning. Here we are. Myself, your mate Paul, Bod, Annihilated, and Mr. Suffolk Andy and his lovely daughter Amy. Now on our way to meet Johnny Cactus and Jenny at home base at Newmarket for the run to the Ace Calf Triumph Day. So should be an absolute hoot. Weather-wise, looking a bit gloomy at the moment, but the forecast is pretty good. It's a lovely warm day without being too silly, albeit it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. Forecast is dry, mainly. The forecast a bit sporadic all over the country, but I think in the main it's going to be a dry day, which is great because just means the numbers are up for the ice. Yeah, Suffolk Andy's decided to bring his ZZR 1200, which makes sense really. Although saying that, I think possibly had he not had Amy with him, he might have brought the Harley with him, as he did last time. And I can't say anything more about my mate Paul's bike. That is one beautiful Harley. Spends a lot of time at Crazy Horse Customs in Bury, who I believe, well, Paul's very close with the guys up there. He does work with them on a regular basis. And there's been a lot of input from Crazy Horse Customs. Excuse me, I was concentrating there. I blew a red light there just to keep up with the crew. Feeling the old vibes here, Paul? I must admit I do that quite often. Take your hands off a bar, especially with this one being a buzzy 600. You get the old pins and needles of late, they can start shutting the fingers down. But yeah, so anyway, back to the Ace. Triumph Day as usual, been up there a few times. Always a good day up there. The first chance to see possibly the, well, we'll be seeing the latest speed triples. So no further lads have been test riding, and all in all they've been giving them the big approval, especially old Biz Vlogs, who I think who loves his present bike, his second 675 speed triple. But I think he's possibly thinking about going for the new one as soon as possible. I may be wrong, but yeah, that'll be interesting to have a look at the new bobber. I haven't seen it properly in the flesh, and obviously all the other associated trumpets that turn up at the Ace on Triumph Day, including many of the classics. Always love the old Bonnevilles, the T140s. You get the T120s. You know, and you get the smaller ones like the old Tiger Cubs. But yeah, so as ever, that'll be interesting. I think one day, I must admit, I I do like the Triumphs, and I won't be, my ZX won't be going anywhere too far too soon. But I must say the one model of Triumph that I've had my eyes on for a while is the 1050 speed triple. Fucking beautiful bikes, and I must admit I am a fan of the triple engine sound and also the torque. So you never know, you might see Weggy knocking about on a 1050i in the future. That's the thing about motorcycles, you have an idea of what you like. You know the bikes that you enjoy riding, but you know, then comes a test ride, or you meet people with different bikes, and your ideas set further afield, and you never know, 2-3 years time you might be riding something completely different to what you imagine riding now. So anyway, little story. Had the plans to hit the ice for a good few months now, obviously, and I'll be meeting a good few people up there. It's good to see Paul and Andy join up as ever. But yeah, well, the plan is normally I run my ZX12R down. I've been a bit of a prick because, well, I say that, I mean, I do a lot of hours at work with the chefs in the haulage yard, and I'm getting older, and I tend to forget things, as one does. Not too old, but I'm getting older, I'll say that much. Anyway, just for the hell of it, I had a sneaky feeling that something was going on. I knew my MOT was possibly coming up on the ZX. Pulled the file out yesterday, and lo and behold, my MOT had run out last Saturday. So, not to be too pissed off, just said to my wife that, oh well, I won't be running that tomorrow. She said, well, I said, I missed my MOT. She said, no, I knew that was coming up, I forgot to tell you. So she forgot to tell me as well. But that's not down to her, it's down to me, innit? So rather than risk any bullshit, whereas I might have sneakily have nipped out once before without an MOT, I won't risk it nowadays. And that's where obviously I'm now sitting upon the noisy little blade of the phaser. So always good to have a second bike, eh? So that's that. Anyway, I'm going to book a bike in for an MOT with Sid down at Felixstowe for a couple of weeks' time, because I'm not going to be around for a bit. But me and the wife are off to Tenerife for a week, so that's going to be good. It's all business back, the bikes after we come back. Plans for this one, new set headers. It's got the original system, double skin system on here, the header system. Excuse me. And I'm going to replace the set. Undecided when I'm going to go for a Black Widow system or the Dogvik. Both of which are good systems, one of which are straight link pipes without a collector box, which I believe is the Black Widow, and the Dogvik system has got sort of a collector box type system. So decisions. I'm actually buying towards the Dogvik, to be honest with you. One of the reasons being is with the collector box, you still hold back a bit of back pressure, which obviously with the setting up of the carbs without having to replace the jets is obviously a good thing for me personally, because it means I ain't got to piss all about messing about with the jetting of the, or the rejetting of the carbs. Unlike nowadays when you just get another map for your fuel injection systems. Rejetting can be a pain in the arse, a little bit time consuming. So anyway, so that's going to be within the next couple of 3 weeks. Just got to make a decision on what system I'm going to go for, and then decide what can I'm going to have on the end of it. I've got the Art race can at the moment, which sounds nice, plenty loud enough, in matchy blue, but it's a bit scraped up. I think the guy, when he dropped the bike, it wasn't a high-speed drop, but it damaged the system. Well, the look at the system anyway, and so possibly looking at replacing the can with an eye on loud, because that's my game. You know the old adage, louder the better. But Moto Marvin's offered me a can that he excuse me, I can't remember what it is now, but he's offered me a race can, for probably less than half the price it originally cost. It looks in good condition. Moto Marv had it on his phaser, which I believe he wrote off, hence the fact that the only thing he's got left of it is the can. So I'll be in touch, my man, just to find out a little bit more about it. I'm going to sort the headers out first. Anyhow, what a beautiful day, look at it. As I say, we're now, the crew of 3 is now going to meet up with the Cactus twins, and his lovely wife Jenny. Most of you will know, obviously, Johnny Cactus from his fantastic compilation of Triumph videos. The bloke is an avid Triumph fan, as is his wife Jenny, and he's at the moment building the bobber. I'll put a link below to his channel, because believe you me, great guy, great couple, and he's a no bullshit guy who will do fantastic work to Triumphs. And like most of us, he may be walking into a world of the unknown sometimes, you know, when it comes to not so much stripping things down, but reworking things, making wiring looms better, cutting wiring looms down. The whole thing is a learning process, and that guy is not afraid of dipping his foot into new areas of learning when it comes to his Triumph builds. And believe you me, he's done a few. I mean, his Triumph Bonneville probably went through about 55 different guises, bars, clip-ons, wiring looms, headlamps, wheels, tyres, tuning, paintwork, you name it. The guy's done it. So anyway, like I say, there'll be a link at the bottom of the vid if you wish to give him a look. Now, going back to the Ace Calf. Obviously you'll know about the place, and you know the heritage. Always a good feeling when you get up there. Still got the old school feel about it. The interior still says a lot about the original building, bearing in mind it was derelict for a good few years. Bloody shame. And the owners of it now do a fantastic job of maintaining the old Ace Calf heritage, with all sorts of meets throughout the year, runs, charity events, you name it. So it's always an absolute pleasure to be doing this particular run and to meeting the guys up in London. as you'll see when we turn up, there will be a flood of Triumphs, which is where we take the piss a little bit, because we're all, us three, obviously, non-Triumph riders, and we will politely park in the middle of Bonnevilles and Bobbers and Speedmasters, if we can. If not, then we'll be parking by the parts bins around the back, where most of the other Japanese bikes and Chinese bikes and everything else that's not Triumph will be parked. Bastards. Might be that Harley sound good. Anyway, now off to the ice.